Hello, my name is Logan Kreinz. I'm currently a junior in the AIM program covering domestic utilities. Today, I will be pitching IDACORP Inc., ticker IDA. Before I jump into my presentation, I would like to touch on my screening process. With the secular trend of clean energy growing, I wanted to find a company that had a large portfolio of renewable energy sources, along with a company that had a plan to move to 100% renewable. After doing some research on a few small cap utilities, I determined that IDACORP Inc. best fit the script. IDACORP Inc. is a holding company that engages in the generation, transmission, distribution, sale, and purchase of electric energy. They currently have three companies under their holding: Idaho Power, which is 93% of revenue. I'll touch on them in a moment. IDACORP Financials, a holder of affordable housing projects and other real estate investments, 3% of total revenues. And Ida West Energy, an operator of small hydroelectric generation projects, 4% of total revenues. Under the holding company structure, Idaho Power Company is a primary subsidiary. This regulated utility, created in 1916, is dedicated to providing reliable, affordable, clean electric service to more than 580,000 general business customers in a 24,000 square mile service area in southern Idaho and eastern Oregon. The backbone of the company's energy mix is a series of 17 hydropower plants it owns and operates on the Snake River. In 2019, 44% of their own capacity came from hydroelectric, 16% from coal, and 11% from natural gas. Ida purchased the remaining 20% of their power from both long-term and short-term contracts, with renewables dominating the long-term purchases. This company is headquartered in Boise, Idaho. Idaho Power takes advantage of their location on the Snake River, accumulating 44% of their energy from hydroelectric. Along with that, Ida's service area continues to experience substantial customer growth, with Idaho being the fastest growing state in the nation. And in 2019, Ida unveiled its Clean Today, Cleaner Tomorrow plan, which sets out a clean energy goal without a government mandate. The plan requires 100% clean energy by 2045, with specific targeted acquisitions and contracts utilized to make this happen. Presently, Ida is about 50% renewable and will increase as a result of the closure of several existing coal plants and the opening of new clean energy facilities. Ida's management has outlined a plan that exits 5 of 7 coal-fired generating units by the end of 2026, and they already have alternative energy solutions in place to account for the lost production of the coal plants. In 2019, Ida entered a contract to buy 120 megawatts at approximately 2 cents per kilowatt, which is among the lowest in the nation for solar energy. Ida's drivers. The first driver is Clean Today, Clean Tomorrow, which is the name of Ida's plan to deliver 100% renewables by 2045. All coal-fired operations that Ida co-owns will be phased out by 2030. In 2019, as planned, the company ended its participation in one of the North Valmy plants in Nevada and has signed an agreement to leave Unit 2 by 2025. This plan will provide Ida with lower operations and maintenance costs beginning in 2021. Idaho Power owns 10% of the 600 megawatt Boardman plant, and in both cases, Ida has the support of the state public utility commissions for a cost recovery framework to be applied to the end of the plant's useful life. In order to replace the lost capacity from the closure of the coal plants, Ida has received approval for a 20-year contract to buy 120 megawatts of energy from a new solar project in southern Idaho, with the project to go online by 2022. The ability to end the life of coal assets and maintain renewable contracts will reduce operations and maintenance costs for Ida over the next several years. The second driver is customer growth. Ida is well positioned to benefit from the growth obtained from their residential customers. Idaho has been adding population, and the COVID-19 pandemic has only accelerated the exodus from populated West Coast metro areas to suburban Idaho neighborhoods. The state has been able to provide an oasis for people wanting to own their own home and reconnect with nature.
as our customer base grew 2.5% in 2019, including a 2.7% growth rate for the residential customer segment. The customer growth has contributed to the rising amount of electricity consumed, and it is expected that this will continue to increase at a steady pace. IDA is also able to deliver residential prices 20% lower and commercial prices 30% lower than the national average. Idaho Power will continue to see long-term growth in utility revenue from this rise in retail and business customers. And the final driver is renewable reward. The public markets attribute a higher valuation to companies with a larger and growing renewable asset portfolio and business segments dedicated to alternative energy initiatives. Firms with a greater portfolio concentration in renewable energy, like NNE with 72% of their portfolio and AVA with 50%, have higher price-to-earning ratios at 33.4 and 23.8 respectively. This shows as IDA continues their business transformation focused on renewable energy, the company will increasingly generate a stronger premium to the current share price and ultimately maximize shareholder value. In order to reach an intrinsic value for IDACORP, a 5-year discounted cash flow model was constructed. Using a terminal growth rate of 1% and a WACC of 4.88%, an intrinsic value of $106.33 per share was reached. Additionally, a PE multiple valuation was calculated. Using 2021 earnings per share of $4.49 and a blended average PE multiple of 23.25 times, an intrinsic value of $104.32 was reached. Finally, an EV to EBITDA multiple valuation was conducted using a blended average EV to EBITDA multiple of 14 times. An intrinsic value of $101.63 was reached. By weighing the three valuation metrics, 60, 20, 20, and a price target of $104.99 was reached, resulting in an 18.45% potential upside. IDA pays a dividend yielding 3.2%. The peers I chose are other small cap utilities serving a similar number of customers located around the U.S. IDACORP has three major risks. The first is regulator relationships. IDA's ability to expand its rate base depends on the relationships with Idaho and Oregon regulators. In addition, the regulators approve any cost deferrals for IDACORP. If the relationship between the company and the regulators deteriorates, then IDA could face negative impact on the operations and financials. Another risk is declining customer growth. IDACORP is anticipating and preparing for constant growth. In IDACORP's business, financial condition, and the results of operations may be negatively affected by changes in customer growth. Changes in customers' use of electricity would be affected by population decline. And the final risk is hydroelectric. This is a risk because over 44% of IDACORP's energy's retail load comes from hydroelectric. Sustained drought conditions or decreased snowpack due to higher temperatures are likely to decrease power generation from hydropower, which could impact earnings. IDACORP's management. Lisa Groh currently holds the position of President, CEO, and Director at IDACORP, Inc. She started off with the company as Senior VP at Idaho Power and was promoted to President in 2019. She took over as IDA's CEO in June of 2020. Although she is relatively new, she works alongside Stephen Keene, a business person who has been the head of 5 different companies. He started off as president of IDACORP Financial, one of IDA's small holdings, and he was promoted to CFO, treasurer, and senior VP, and has held that position since 2006. Steve's experience as the head of 5 different companies gives me confidence that the pair will lead IDA to clean energy and a successful future. And that concludes my presentation. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my pitch today. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them in the D2L Dropbox or in class on Friday. Thank you very much, and have a good night.